Oh, I like the music.
Yeah, we were jamming to our song, y'all. For some
Yes,
reason,
I
we was
like
feeling
that
it
music.
today. Hey, everybody. It is us. It is Diana Divina, the ladies of ladies in lyrics. We are back here again tonight with an amazing show. We are excited to get started tonight. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. And me and Diane got we got some earrings going on today. So we came prepared for y'all. You're not looking at anything else. You had these earrings to look at. Look at Diane's. That's so cute. I bought these from a guy at Swaparama. Yes, he makes these himself.
Okay.
I told him I'll be back because I like big earrings for some
Yeah,
reason. I didn't used to in the past, but in the past, probably like 10 years or so, I've just really been into big earrings. So
I
yeah,
like.
thank you. Like yours too.
Thank you.
Diane,
Yes, ma'am.
how are you doing this Wednesday?
Marvelous.
Marvelous. Did anything exciting happen this week as to why you're feeling marvelous?
I woke up this morning
Oh, I
and I
know
was
that's
able
right.
to get out of bed by myself. I was able to see by myself. I was just good. My family is good. That is just something for me to look forward to. That's why I'm marvelous. Just because. Hey, Aunt Karen.
Hey, I'm
It is
Karen. How
just,
are you? How are you
just
this evening?
because.
Just because I love that. And sometimes it's okay just to be grateful. It feels good to be grateful.
Abs-
Who else is on here besides Aunt Karen? Go ahead and say, hey, how you doing? What's up? What's happening? Happy Wednesday. We hope that you had a great week. I'm going to call it a week because it's been a week since we seen y'all last. So we are happy that you're on here. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, because some of y'all be on YouTube, like back in the cut, and we don't know that you're on here because you just like you were watching. But we really want to know who's on YouTube. We want to see some of those people that's on YouTube just to say something, join the
yeah.
conversation. It's so
Hi,
fun.
Elijah.
Hey, Elijah, we're doing good. Aunt Karen, thanks for asking. Hope you are as well. Okay, so I gotta check in. Diane says she's doing marvelous. Hope everybody else is doing marvelous. It is Wednesday, June 21st. Last week, Diane, wait, you know what? Before I go there, Diane, are you ready? Are you
Yes.
ready, Diane? Are you ready for some good music, some real talk with us dope women?
Yes.
Yes, I'm excited because last week, I don't know if you were on here last week, but the conversation got heavy. It got hot up in here last week because we were talking about some grown folks stuff
Did. We
with
did.
no holds bar. People was just coming out with it, and I loved it
Me too.
because
It
we're
was.
all adults and this is about conversations. But sometimes when you get to speak your truth out loud, it's just refreshing and it's freeing and it's liberating. So I hope that you all are feeling that. Not only being entertained, but you're getting something from these shows, which is one of the key reasons why this show exists. So Diane, last week, I know you want to talk about it, but we're gonna get there too. But I just want you to chime in. What did you think about the conversation last week on meeting in my bedroom?
Okay, before I answer that question, you always ask how I'm doing and how every our audience is doing, our co-hosts out there is doing. How are you doing?
Oh, thank you for asking.
You're very
I
welcome.
am amazing. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling refreshed. And I was dragging, to be honest. But I took a shower, I put my hair up in this, whatever this is, y'all. Look, these locks are trying to lock. I'm starting to feel them, y'all. I was
Good.
not feeling these locks, but I'm starting to love them. And I feel good that we're on here.
Yeah,
And I'm excited about
yeah.
tonight's conversation. Thanks for asking, Diane.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Last week conversation, I really enjoyed it. And I feel like the audience enjoyed it as well because as adults, you like to have adult conversation. And sometimes we don't talk about the things that we were talking about last week. People are not talking about size or small or big or whatever. people don't talk about that often, and I feel that we all got a chance to just have good grown conversation. It was really, really good. I feel like we didn't have enough time.
Yeah, yeah.
We didn't have
But you know
enough
what? The good thing is that, we're on this topic for the next tonight and next week. And I feel like the conversation is just going to get better. So thank you all who contributed, who were honest and open. And you're right, like a lot of conversations are not had, especially out loud, about the things that we want as men, but also as women, because women
absolutely.
have desires as well. So Diane,
Yes, ma'am.
what's going on? What did you do this past week?
My girlfriend came from out of town and we celebrated her birthday. So I did a paint and sip under the stars.
That's
And
nice.
we went to the mall. And then a friend of mine did a cookout for her, cooked some food and stuff on the grill. So we went over there. Then we went to another friend's. We was doing some things. We went to another cookout. And then we went out and listened to some music and got a little footwork in there too. So I really
Mhm.
had a really nice weekend with her. It was very, very nice. It was. I didn't get to celebrate Juneteenth. I got my t-shirt on. Okay.
You
1865.
you representing tonight, y'all.
Yes, I am. I didn't get to do that, and I wanted to, and I think that it's a very important holiday. I'm happy they made it a holiday, and I feel that, you know, the 4th of July will come and I will be in there. Not to say I won't be in there, that's a whole nother conversation with 4th of July. But Juneteenth, when I was thinking about it, I said it's so sad. Everyone was free. Everybody was free except for them, except for
Mhm.
that community for 2 years. So everybody's walking around free and they still praying to be free.
Mhm.
It remind me of the 12 well, it's not the same, but they had a movies called Alice. I don't know if you saw
I
Alice?
saw that and I did not like it. I was like, oh my goodness. But yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
With Kiki Palmer.
yes, and just
Mhm.
she was in all she had to do was just walk to the end of
Yes.
the bushes, just to know that it's a whole nother world. And I think it was the same way for those of us that was still enslaved for 2 years and not knowing it. And it's a real, real sad occasion. I mean, we celebrate it, and I'm glad that people, to be honest with you, I didn't even know about it, and being able to look back and see, because it's really big in Texas, because that's
Mhm.
where they were enslaved at in Texas.
Right.
Yeah, I think that we should know our history. I think it's important. That's why I wore my shirt today. No, I didn't do any celebration, but I wore my t-shirt on the 19th. I was representing, letting people know that I know, and I won't only wear it on Juneteenth. I'll wear it throughout the year. I just think it's important that we know what we've been through, not
Yeah.
and really where we came from,
Yeah.
right? Being
Yeah.
enslaved like that for all those, just being enslaved, period. But during that time and Juneteenth, it's a holiday. I
Now
was
it
off.
is.
Yes, now it is. Before it wasn't. Listen, when we got shut down 2020, God put the light on this world.
Absolutely.
He put a light
Because
on
this is the third year that it's been recognized. And no, COVID happened in 2020. It's
Yep.
2023. And
Yep.
this is the third year that it's been celebrated or been recognized as a federal holiday. And still,
Yes.
some people didn't get it off,
Right.
but yes. I
Yes.
think, yeah. But
It
I agree
became
with you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
it became a federal holiday in 2021. But
Mhm.
yes, you absolutely right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I don't remember what I was gonna say because yeah, I gotta get it out, Diane, or it's gonna be okay. Sometimes I can get it back, but sometimes not.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, but it's okay. But yes, I agree with you. I think that's what I was gonna say. I agree in that we should know our history more than anything. You
Yep,
know, it's
that's
so much
yeah,
that we don't know, and our children are not learning. So really, it's up to us to teach our children. Like
absolutely.
my son, he does that. He like gives his daughter like these little history lessons and wants her to look up things so they will not know.
They won't.
Depending on our educational system, which is what we depend on to educate our children, they're not educating our children about our history, right? They're
Absolutely.
educating our students about U.S. history, and all you hear about in U.S. history when we talk about us is about slavery. I mean, you see the slavery, but
Absolutely.
our stories are so much deeper than that. So,
Absolutely.
yes, see with
That is
that.
that is so, so true.
Oh my goodness, who is this? Who is this?
Hi, Ronald.
Oh, big dogs in the building. Hey, how are you? You made them watch Roots. What did they think about that? I'm interested to know. I love that movie. I can watch it, and it's long, but I can watch it. I would watch. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. What did your kids think about that movie? Did they like it? Did they actually sit there and watch the whole thing? Were they appalled? Were they uninterested? I'm just wondering what their take was on it.
Yeah. And I also think that, our children need to know, we also need to know that we built this country. We built America, I said something about, well, I'm African. They was like, you are, but you American too. You built this country. We
Mhm.
built this country. And I saw a flag. I went to an art festival and I saw a flag and it had a lot of black great leaders on the flag. It was a US flag. And I said, that's right. I love this. I said, we built this country.
Mhm.
And a Caucasian man came over to me and said, absolutely, you all did, even though some of us, and he pointed to himself, don't
Yes.
want to admit it, but that is the truth. And that felt really good to hear, to hear him say that. That was like, okay,
Yeah.
the truth is
Yeah.
we got to know that we built this country,
We definitely did. Let's
we
see.
got
What
to.
he said that they became racist for a while and Jaden hated white people, is what he's saying. But I broke it down military style to not see color, and not all people are bad. And that is true. Not all people are bad. We can't judge like they do, oh, see a color and judge everybody. So I'm glad you said that. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that makes you angry. I
It does.
mean, angry when you see those things.
It,
But for me, and this has nothing to do with it, but it does. This is why I cannot not do things like vote. Certain things that I can not do because people die, man, for this stuff. Like, what we take it for granted, but our ancestors worked hard so we have a place in this country, and we take it for granted, and then we just don't do what they people were denying them denied the right to do these things, and we take it for granted and don't do it.
you are absolutely right because people say, "Oh, our vote don't count." It does. It does. They fought. There's a lot of things we couldn't do.
Yeah,
A lot of size being on one side, a lot of bathrooms we couldn't use, a lot of water fountains we couldn't drink out of. People put their lives on the line for us to have the freedom that we have today. So,
yeah. So
yeah,
we take it for granted, for
and we
real.
take it for granted. Absolutely.
But no, I didn't celebrate um, Juneteenth. I didn't do anything, but staying home and enjoy my day off. Just and that was a good thing because I could have worked. I could have asked, "Hey, can I switch my days off?" Because I actually had some of my employees who were working and probably needed me that day. But I was like, "No, I can't work on this holiday of all holidays. No, I'm not
Absolutely.
doing that." So I just stayed home, and I'm grateful for the day off, and I'm hoping the kids really understand the reason for the not season, but for the day. Okay, so with all that being said, y'all, wait a minute, we have another comment before we go forward. But it's hilarious how the kids have a strong opinion on racism. but sometimes people make fun because they speak properly, not knowing their thoughts on racism. Oh, you talking about your kids? They think your kids are, when they speak the King's English, if they speak proper, and yeah, so they judge them. Ah, man, we ought to talk about that on one of these shows about how we're judged, by the way we speak. But you know what? We're going to switch gears a little bit and we're going to get into some music because we do have a song tonight. And if you follow us on Facebook and you have seen our posts, because we usually post it a couple of days before our show, you know that tonight our song is As We Lay by Shirley Murdoch. I'm excited about this. I want to see what y'all have to say about this. Hot topic, maybe controversial. Some people, hey, let me say this right now. Y'all, let me put this out there right now. Don't get all up in your feelings up in here, okay? Don't get up in your feelings. We just talking. Don't get caught up in the conversation. It's okay. We're just talking. So, anyway, let's talk a little bit about the song of Shirley Murdoch. Y'all already know this was her biggest hit, right? It came from her debut album that was titled Shirley Murdoch. It dropped in 1985. I thought it was the 90s, but it was actually 1985. Hot, hot, hot song. People were listening to this song when it dropped. And I don't know if it was because they could relate to it or if it was because it's just a wonderful song or people were just, hey, laying around. I don't know. But it was a hot, hot song. Shirley Murdoch is an R&B singer and songwriter. And like I said, she's best known for this song that made it to the top 10 and it peaked at number 23 on the pop chart and number 21 on the adult contemporary chart. But let me see if I can find it, you all, so we can play a little bit of the song and then talk about it. Let's see. I might be at the end. I'm telling you, I listen to this so much. Okay, yeah, it is at the end because I listened to it. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can pull it up again. And it's not coming up again. Hold on. Let me start it over. It's not letting me do what I want to
Got
do.
it. You
I have it. It's just I was trying to fast forward a little bit. Give me a minute, guys. Sorry about the
you a
delay.
little bit of time.
Hmm.
We giving you some time to
Okay.
find
Well,
Miss
I have it.
Shirley.
I just listened to it and it was at the end of the song because I've been listening to it all day. I always want to find something different. And I'm just going to go with the beginning since that's what I pulled up. Can you all hear it?
Yes.
I'm only going to play a little bit of it. Okay, I'm going to play the chorus at the end, hopefully, if I get a chance to get to it. Look, but I wanted to play that first part because I just like, oh, this is like the whole premise of the whole song. So the very first, I'm going to talk about this very first part of the song that I just played for you all. And if you have some hot, hot comments that you want to throw out there about Shirley Murdoch in this song while I'm talking, then just start putting it in there. And I see some comments already. I'm gonna read them after I talk about. No, you know what? Let's do something different. Since we have some comments first, Diane, let's go ahead and look at some of the comments, and then
Let's do it.
you want to do it? Okay, let's do it. Let's check out what the comments are. If you want to drop something in there before I get going, if I see it come up before I share, then I will read it. But other than that, I'll jump in. Ronald said she was definitely in big letters, living in the moment and didn't have a care in the world of what was going on. Okay. And then he said she just wanted to be a thought. Oh, okay. She wants to be a thought for the that's somebody I know, favorite word. I always calling somebody a thought. I'm like, really? Oh, and he's a man, like men use that word. Okay. Look, I disagree. I don't think she was being a thought. But let me start with this first verse. She says, morning, and we slept the night away. It happened. Now we can't turn back the hands of time. I listened to this song over and over and over because I wanted to kind of get an overall theme of it, right? And to me, the overall theme is like regret. It's like regret, and it's like we did this thing. Now we have face. There's some consequences behind it, right? I feel like you know how sometimes people can do something and be like, "Oh well, did that?" Then feel like, "Hey, I did it. Is what it is." I feel like she felt sorry about it. I don't think she was a thought. I have so many more ideas about this song being a thought, but I just want to talk about that first stanza. She said it happened, which to me at first, well, you might think, "Hey, we were sleeping," but she said it happened, meaning they slept together
Okay.
and now they cannot go back. They can't turn back the hands of time. So now that we've done it, what happens next? Okay, so let me go here. Let me start with some comments. Hey, Lynette.
Hi,
Oh, thank
Lynette.
you for being on tonight. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm very familiar with this song, but the Kelly Price version. Oh, really? Okay, got it. I should, and you know what? We should have done a comparison. But
Mhm.
okay, and I live by the song with no regrets. So
Okay.
you've been in this situation and you had no regrets. So let me ask this. I know, but I'm gonna ask for the sake of the audience. This is my sister, y'all. So what you had somebody and the other person had somebody, and you didn't feel sorry because I feel like this person had some like she's thinking, man, there's some ramifications just looking at some of these the lyrics. This sounds like a good old church house. Why a church house affair? He said a church. But you know what? I get why you say that. I can 100% get why you say a church house affair because this is somebody that did something and might be like, oh my God, look what we've done. We've sinned. So I can kind of get where you're coming from with that. Oh, I thought the same thing. I think their spouses know. I don't know if their spouses know each other, but I think she
Mm.
knows the spouse. I got that from as many times as I thought about it. She said, I would never want to hurt her. She would never understand. That made me think, you know her. Look, I've been that person. I've been the person who was friends with somebody who cheated with my husband. So, and I have a question about that. Let's see. Um, see, I think their spouses. They knew they were cheating. The women in the 80s made one night stands famous.
Okay, Ronald.
The women in the 80s? Wait a minute. Wait.
What
You
a
gotta live a little to know this. You gotta live a little to know this.
beautiful.
What do you mean by that? But Diane, let's go to you before we go to more comments. What
I agree with everything you were saying, and it's so funny that I didn't think about the part where she probably know her. It sounded like that was her friend.
that's what I feel like.
And honey,
Because
let me
then she
tell
said she would never understand. That
even
that puts me in a mind like you know this woman. How
yes,
she not gonna understand if you're her friend?
yes.
No.
Even when she talks about yes, we stole this moment, we forgot to face one simple fact. We both belong to someone else. I feel like they got into something and then the next morning, maybe they had whatever. I don't know if you want to blame it on the alcohol or what, but then they realized, like, oh man, we really, really crossed the line. Even when she says we forgot about all the pain we've caused as we slept the night away. So, um, Shirley, let me find out you a little heifer. Because I mean, that
Michaela, why didn't you have any regrets though? Because it would seem like if I'm married, I'm assuming they're both married because I always feel like that's a covenant relationship. Like we both have somebody else married and that person married. Why wouldn't there be, it seems like there would be some regrets that you hurt your spouse or something.
well, I mean, pull up her comment.
She said, "Hold on now, we was not friends, never met before." No, not you per se. We're talking about the song. It sounds like the from the lyrics of the song that this lady knew this man's wife. So
Right.
that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I
So
think they
maybe that's. Go ahead, Diane.
I think they might all know one another, whatever it is. Yeah, I think I think they know one another. They might all be friends.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and just for one night. Um,
Let me ask y'all a question. Let's just say hypothetically this was a situation, and these people gave into these urges, and they had fun that night, and they enjoyed it. Now
it's
they woke up the next morning, they had all these regrets, and they're like, "Oh, it was just one night." Do y'all think that it would have been just one night? I'm just wondering. I'm just throwing it out there because she said, and the song is just one night because she's in that moment.
right.
But let's just say they got away with it, and neither one of the spouses found out about that one night. Do you think it would have turned into more than one night?
Maybe not at all. It all depends on. They just seem from the song so regretful. I don't know if they would do it again. Then again, was it a lust thing and you did it, or was it something that you guys was checking one another out for a while and y'all you went on and you crossed the line and it was like, oh my God, you're there now and you want to do it again. They had a great time. I can't see why they wouldn't want to do it again.
But I mean, wanting and actually acting on too. I'm just wondering what other people think. Men are so oblivious, and we don't know that we're getting plotted on. But it might have been his bachelor party, and he was supposed to be getting
You
married the
know
next
what?
day. I don't think that was the case. It doesn't sound like it to me. It sounds like to me that they've been feeling each other
Yes, that's
already.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
And then they gave in into those desires. That's
Yes.
why she probably felt like a moment was stolen. Okay. They gonna do it again, Elijah said. Maybe or maybe not. I'm just wondering. I think it's possible though. And the reason I say that is sometimes when people get away with things, they tend to be like, oh, I got away with it that time. Let me, hey, we can do it again. They may not have gotten the ramifications of what they've done. And so do it again.
But if that's
Or they might feel so guilty that they could confess or they could not ever do it again. So,
but that's your friend. I'm just saying, I'm just assuming that's her friend. So
oh, wait.
you I'm gonna let Lynette go ahead. I mean,
It
you
was
can
two
read
hundred.
Lynette
Like
comment.
I said, hopefully one of them got a conscience. I know, right? And
Yes,
then neither one of them were thinking about the cynic. That's it, Lynette.
absolutely.
They
Absolutely.
were in the moment. It
Yes, they
didn't
were.
happen just once. This is what they were telling themselves so
Mm.
they don't feel too guilty about it. Exactly.
Mm.
Look, Lynette said exactly what I think. I think happens in almost all situations when there's some type of betrayal. You're not thinking, I'm gonna hurt the person that I'm with, I'm gonna
Right.
hurt the person I love. You're always thinking about
You're being
what you want.
selfish. Yep.
Yeah.
Being
So I
selfish.
think about what I want in this month. I'm not thinking about anybody else. This is what I want. I'm just gonna do it. You're not even thinking about anybody else. And I believe that, Lynette. I think you were right. They weren't thinking about the other person. They're like, hey,
Mhm.
I'm giving in to these urges.
Yeah, and we'll deal with the other things later. I don't even think they thought about that.
So Michaela said, I didn't break up a happy home. It was already broken before I came along. That that's what I was told. We lived in that moment and now we have forever to go.
I
Now
don't
see, go ahead, Diane. What you gonna say?
I just was like, "Oh, I mean, okay. Are y'all still together? Y'all still together, Michaela?" But go ahead. I'm just wondering if they still together.
So she's saying that they had some significant others. It wasn't Things weren't going well in the household. So, you know,
Okay, girl. She said, "Yes, we are." Okay. Well, in her, I mean, and I don't know. I'm just saying, in this situation, if you're already, because I always say there's a breakup before the breakup. So even if you're still in the home with a person and you meet someone else and they start having a relationship, they just didn't physically depart yet, but it's already over. So in Michaela's, and I tell me if I'm wrong, Michaela, but she wasn't breaking up something that wasn't already broken up. That was already over. This here,
Mhm.
they're still in it in the song. They are still in it. And they didn't think about it until afterwards, until the sun,
After the fact,
yeah, till the
exactly.
sunlight hit their face.
Exactly.
Thinking
Oh
this
no, look what we did. Now we got to go home and go back to face our spouses and let's see.
a new day brings reality that we must go our separate ways. What a lovely night we had. Yeah.
She said it was a lovely night. What did he say? Whose husband spent the night out though? Like what are you telling these people? I'm in agreement with that. I'm like, what are you like? How are you even coming home the next morning? Because the sunlight coming in, that woman said this morning. Yeah, your last morning, LOL. She stole that woman wife. What? he, he is not talking about the song right now.
Okay.
But yes, I'm with you on that. Just how. But people lie all the time. And if you have a track record of being honest or things like that, then you may feel like I could trust the person. Oh, maybe something happened. They probably maybe my I don't know what they're telling somebody to be out all night long though and come up with the sun, but people will forgive and you'll be like, babe, sorry, and I was out with the boys and I was drunk and I couldn't use my phone. My phone died. People say all kinds. In the 80s, we didn't have cell phones. So communication wasn't so accessible.
Yeah.
Who
Like,
knows
yeah, like
what
you tell your kids, don't let the street light catch you. Okay.
yeah, I mean,
Don't
yeah,
catch
that's kind of disrespectful.
you.
But go
Very.
ahead, Diane. You were
But
gonna
you
say
know
something.
what? Where were they? Were they at a hotel? Where they was we know they couldn't be at his house. If they both had someone, they both was out
Mhm.
all night
Oh wow, all night.
long. What stories? Because she said we should have counted we should have counted up the cost, but instead we got lost in the second, in the minute, in the hour. Okay, we
Yeah.
forgot about tomorrow. Okay.
But you know what's funny is that she said it's morning. Now it's time for us to say goodbye. You're leaving me. I know you got to hurry home to face your wife. Now you already know you got to face her because you've been out all night. Because you see her
Mhm.
wording is like you have to face your wife. What
Mhm.
are you going to tell your wife? But what's standing out to me is that she said we both have somebody. Wait, we both have somebody, but it seems like all she's worried about really is that man's wife and not really her person.
Well, maybe she's not that it should make a difference, but maybe it sounds like she might not be married
Hmm,
because
maybe
she
not.
said she might not be married. She might have a boyfriend
Maybe, maybe,
and he have
maybe.
a wife, and that wife
Yeah.
is a friend. I just added that part.
So you belong to me for just one night as we slept the night away. Yeah. I'm wondering, so this made me also think about did anybody else have any other comments? Because I'm gonna switch gears just a little bit. Not a lot, but it made me think about something. She said sex with that woman. She had sex with that woman husband for an hour. And his wife only get 15 minutes. It did sound like Lucille and Charles. Oh, he said, oh, I think I missed that comment where he said, have you seen BMF, Diane?
Yes, a matter of fact, I'm actually watching it now.
Okay. So I don't,
What
well,
season are you getting ready to talk about?
we're in season two.
Okay, well, I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay. Well, he already told you anyway.
He
But
didn't tell
yeah.
me nothing because I don't know nothing about nothing. I'm not going to remember,
Mhm.
Elijah. Yeah,
But
but
it
I'm.
does kind of remind you that as far as what we were talking about with
Okay,
pregnant.
okay. We can talk about that next week because I'll be caught up by it.
Where are you?
I think I'm in season 8, season 1, episode 8.
She said from watching the video, and I didn't watch the video, and I usually do. She had no man, but he had a wife and kid. In the
Oh,
song, though, it says she has somebody. I feel like Diane said, maybe she wasn't married, but she was in some type of relationship. So it's easier for her if that in that case, because she doesn't have as much to lose. This man has a whole family.
yep.
You don't have as much to lose. So, but she acting really concerned about her so-called friends, because I'm gonna say they were friends.
I think they
And
were friends too, Heifer.
friends don't do that. That's unforgivable. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I love you. I care about you. You're my friend. I let you in my house around my husband. I trust you around my husband and my kids. And then you know all my business probably
That
because
part.
I'm talking to you. And
That
then
part.
yeah, that's what made me angry, Diane. Angry.
I'm sitting here telling you all the ins and the outs, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you're listening, and you're gonna have an opinion about something. And then you're gonna take all of that. I don't know, you winked at him, he winked at you, or whatever happened, you played into it too. Even though I blame both, I blame him more than her, but I blame her. No, I blame her more, Heifer. Okay.
I blame him. I blame him because he's married to her.
Yeah, the
I
reason
blame
why
them. I blame
if
them
we're
both. I
friends,
blame them
if
both.
we're friends, it's like
Yeah,
we close. You like my sister, you're gonna that's like a unspoken rule. My husband? I don't care. My
yeah.
boyfriend?
Girl, let me tell y'all, this wasn't one of my final moments, but honey, when I tell you, I've never ever been violent or fought over men, but it wasn't about that. It was about you're supposed to be my girl. You listening to me talk about my marriage and you sleeping with my that is such a do you know how betrayed I felt and how hurt I was? Man, I mean, I can't even explain. Not since have I ever, but not my finest moment, but I did get physical. So I'm just gonna say
And you
that.
should have. By
Mm-hmm.
right. I hope you bust her right upside her head.
Tried to, girl.
You
Tried
should have.
to, tried
Because
to.
it's like you said, it's more than you wasn't fighting over. It's the principle. I trusted you with my
Mm-hmm.
darkest secrets.
Mm-hmm.
My everything. You know everything. So everything that I told you, you probably did just the opposite.
Exactly.
Like you, and
Yeah.
then you're gonna come and grin at my face?
Exactly. Yes.
Girl.
That's the audacity. I mean, it's different when you don't know the person. I mean, it is
Yes,
different. If this
yes,
woman is somebody you've never met, you don't know this person, it should be easier. But you know me. Yeah.
yes.
It was just too
It's
much
like
for me.
hugging me and stabbing me in the back at the same time. Mm-mm.
She probably felt like her friend didn't deserve him and she could do better. I,
E-
maybe.
Even
I,
if that's the case, who makes you come in? If you're my friend, that's you. You gotta have a blonde. When it comes to him, you might be like, "Oh, he's good looking," and that's all it should be. And if an attraction start coming up, you better cut it off. That feeling, you better cut that feeling off. You know how when you get excited and you almost right there, you better cut it off. You better dry it out.
yeah,
You better turn
right.
your face.
You have to be like, nope, not doing.
Yep,
Somebody has to
absolutely,
step up. We
absolutely,
can't. Yeah, I think both of them betrayed her. They both betrayed her.
yes,
People
absolutely.
with nothing to lose will help you lose everything.
That's a good
Because she
one.
could have had an alternative motive at the end of the day. Even though
Right.
she's saying all these things, just think about this. She might be saying these things to him to his face, but deep down, like, yeah, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah,
Like you're gonna be mine, or you never know. You never know.
absolutely.
Let's see. I heard you curb stump. I heard you curb stump that woman. He talking to me.
Okay.
You know what? No,
Absolutely. I hope she did. They
no
ain't have
comment.
video back then. You know, the cell phones, they had the cell phones back then. Hmm.
I wonder though, and I thought Michaela was making that comment. You know, and she was saying that they are together now. It's like, how do you know? Like when you get in something like that, it's just not going to be a situation. You put yourself in a position where you could end up in a situation you just the other woman. You know what? And this person, like I don't know, how do you go from making that transition from look, you got somebody and I got somebody, but let's do this. How do you? So that's what I was saying. Like when you first do it, that one time thing, Mm, yeah, I don't know. How do you know when you should, when it might be a future in it? I guess is what I'm thinking. Like, this is not just something we're doing.
Well, if they're cheating, it's a difference if the person is. I have heard people cheat in a relationship and they're married and that marriage break up and then they get together and they get married and that break up too. It's the foundation of what you built because it's a cheating thing. Mm, I guess it's so much I want to say. Have
No, well, say it. Say it.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's just it hurts to know that a friend would betray you or even your partner if they are cheating or stepping out. If you don't want to be in a relationship, it's better if you just let the person know. And it's
Yeah,
gonna hurt, but let me know. Listen, I don't want this anymore. Let me go my separate, you go your way, I go my way. But don't want to have me and you don't want to let me go, but then you want to go out there and do whatever you want to do, and then you want to come back and tell me, well, because you wasn't, bye.
right. Now, that was my next question, Diane. Do you think that people cheat because of something the other person has or has not done? And
I
I'm
don't
turning that out to everybody. Is there a reason that are people cheating because my wife or my husband, they are not providing this for me, or is it just them, their character? I would like Michaela to answer that. Why? Mhm.
I think that is both. But I also feel that before you step out, you need to work on what you have because you're bringing more problems in. You need to do everything that you could do. Don't step out. Do everything that you can do. And if that's not working, if you step out, you need to be having all your things with you and leaving a relationship because you're hurting someone. You are tearing someone down. Their self-esteem. I mean, it just goes so far, a man or a woman, because we start questioning ourselves, right?
Mhm.
What was it about me? I'm not pretty enough. My hair's too long. My hair's too short. I don't walk this way. I don't do that. My butt is too big. My butt is too small. I mean, whatever it is. And then a man too, I just feel like you need to work on what you have instead of stepping outside. See, because you think that's gravy. And this person, see, when you're in a relationship and all that other stuff that go on, you start cheating. That person don't know about those other things. You're showing the representative. They're getting a good. You actually being someone else. But then when all the layers start peeling off, then they're like, okay, wait a minute. But then now you already invested. No,
Mhm.
I'm not an advocate for cheating. No, don't do it. No,
Yeah, but a lot of times, so people say, "Oh, like men, oh, she doesn't understand me, or she wasn't there for me, or she hasn't done this, or she hasn't done that." Women cheat because whatever. It's just something that they weren't getting in a relationship, so they look for it from somewhere else, and that's most of the time what happened. Now, on the other side of that, it's like when that comes out, a lot of times it does. Let me read this comment. There's no reason to cheat on someone. Communicate your needs and move on from there. No one wants to be hurt. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I agree with you. I think that you should talk about it. Why are we not having conversations with the person, especially if we're married? Because I just take that to be different than I'm dating or I'm seeing somebody in a relationship. I married you. I made a promise. We made a commitment. We're raising a family together. And then so we need to be in this commitment. The problem is people aren't committed to their commitment. Like,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? Like when I get this feeling, you know, I'm gonna I'm gonna respond to that instead of being committed to the commitment. So I think I agree. I think that it should be like, hey, I'm not happy. I want to move on. If you put yourself in a position where you are cheating or you could possibly cheat, You've already done things before that that already led up to that.
Absolutely.
You've had conversations with this person. You've been meeting with this person. You've already been cheating already. You just probably didn't physically do the act yet. But there were some things that were leading up to that. That's a flag or a red flag that, hey, I need to step back away from that thing because it's too tempting. And I need to redirect my attention back to my relationship and try to make it work. But
Yes, that's why for me, when it comes to friendship, male and female friendship, I'm really funny about that. I don't want my mate having no female friends and y'all hanging out and y'all doing all that and y'all talk. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
and you know what? I don't feel like that. I don't feel
I
that way about I and only to a certain level. Like if you had friends in your life before I came along, I don't have a right to come in and say you can't be friends with that person anymore. However, you're not going to be a friend to that person the same way you were when you were a single man.
right.
You're not going to be hanging out with her and doing this with her. You know, y'all might have conversations here or there, but it just won't be the same level. I don't think any adult has the right to come in and try to change somebody else's life like that to be like, oh, you can't be friends with her anymore, and
No,
you can't.
not like that. What I mean by that is if you already have a friend, sure. Um, it's the type of friend. It's the way that friendship is because somebody is liking somebody. And sometimes you get in situations because when a male and a female are friends, somebody liking somebody is attractive to that person. Maybe not both people, but sometimes you're in a situation and you cross the line. Here go. Now I done crossed the line. That's my friend. We done did it one time or two times. I'm just a little funny about that, about how that with that friendship thing with a male and a female. And I'm not saying I
I think
wouldn't
that there
say
should be boundaries. I think
yeah,
there
I'm
should be
not saying
boundaries.
that, oh, you got to stop with your friends, but you already know. You got even men. Sometimes they don't even have female friends like that. With friends, but we ain't friends where we hanging out and we talking on the phone all the time. And when you in a
Well,
relationship,
you shouldn't be
take that,
talking on the phone all the time to any other
yeah,
somebody
when
else.
you,
That's what I'm
yes,
saying. There needs
yes,
to be boundaries. But I know
absolutely.
one thing: no new friends. Don't come up here and tell me, "Oh, I just met her." Oh no, baby, no, you didn't just meet anybody. There's no new friends around here.
No new
No,
friends?
no new friends. No,
Okay.
no new of the opposite sex. So I'm not playing that. Nah, you better
Yeah.
be knowing her for 20 years. Yeah, we go way back, and then we'll see her. Nah, I agree. I think there should be boundaries. I don't think you should be
Absolutely.
turning up with no new friends in the mix. So that's what I'll say. Let's see. You have a comment. Well, honestly, I wasn't looking for someone to cheat with. We were friends. I lived in Milwaukee and she lived in Chicago. My marriage got stale. It was 15. There was a 15-year age difference. I left. They wanted me to stay in marriage, but I knew I would still cheat. I don't want two people. I want one person for me and me for them. You don't want, so you did leave the marriage and you didn't want another person. You wanted the person that you cheated with, is what
Oh,
she
so you cheated with them. Okay. Okay.
No, she's saying that they were just friends. But here's the thing: there's no thing something like that. We were just friends. When y'all
That's
start talking, that started to develop into something more than that. And if I'm married to somebody, I'm having secret conversations with somebody. I'm already setting myself up. I shouldn't be having secret conversations that
that
my
part.
spouse does not know about with
That
somebody else.
part.
Trying to
That
set yourself
friend
up.
thing. That friend
And so
thing.
it really was setting itself up to be something else anyway when it started in its development because it was a secret. If it wasn't enough, there was nothing to hide, then your wife would have known about it. If I have male friends, they have to be my partner friend also. And this goes both ways. My husband has a female friend and we hung out. Yeah, it's got to be like that. Like everything has to be out in the open, you know, there are no secrets or whatever. She said they got to be, and I'm not necessarily saying we have to be friends, but I have to be able to know this chick. And if we hanging out, you hanging out, we hanging out. That's how we don't do that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
We,
go
yeah.
ahead. Honey.
I'm just talking to myself over here for a minute. I'm like, That's how.
So just real quickly, I just had me thinking about soulmates though. because sometimes your soulmate might not be the person you marry.
Hmm.
It's that happened. You married a person, but that person may not be your soulmate. So I believe that, sometimes I believe in soulmates. I don't know about you. You all let me know if you believe in soulmates, but I believe in soulmates. And I believe that we don't always marry our soulmates. But I was looking up the definition of soulmates, and it said soulmate can be a close friend or a romantic partner. So sometimes friendships, the person you're friends with can be your soulmate. But that's male or female. I'm not even going there. So I don't know why this song made me think about that because I'm thinking, what if they were soulmates and this man and they realized that, but they're not together?
Do that make it okay?
It doesn't make it okay,
Or
but
did
I'm
they
just saying.
miss, or did they just miss in time? Like they missed a moment. Did they ever have a chance to have that moment? Or let's just say, for example, if Hunter girlfriend and they met him at the same time, but she was like, oh girl, he cute, but he really wanted to really check out the friend.
Hmm.
But he didn't pursue that because she was all over. Sometimes that happened.
Yeah, she
I
missed
mean,
out. I'm just saying, I don't know. I think soulmate is a thing. So is soul ties. I want to talk about that on our next show, soul ties. We should talk about that. I
mm,
don't know. I think that that's possible. And does it make it right? It doesn't. But I feel like there was a love there that they can't act on, and that they felt a connection with each other.
mm. Those are some heavy questions. What do
It
you do?
is. It's some things to think about. I always like to play devil's advocate. I don't believe in anybody that that you should be cheating on your husband, your wife. That's a in for me. I will be honest. In my younger days, I have been with people who are in relationship. I have never been with anybody that was married, and I would not do that. I think I am committed to their commitment. I would not. I would not. But when you're younger, other thing, but never with a married person. Um, Diane, let's talk about what's going on. Let's move on because
Let's
our
talk
show
about
is
what's going
almost.
on,
I
girl.
don't know what our question is, but let's see.
I know what our question is.
Let's see.
If
Ah,
you are in a sexual encounter that is not enjoyable, what did you do or what would you do? Hmm. I think that I ain't even gonna say think. I have been there before and can't wait until it was over.
you just endured.
I endured because I know it was gonna be forever. So I endured, and that was, yeah. It didn't happen again.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Sometimes your soulmate is married to somebody else. I say that
Mm.
all the time. Sometimes they are, and that is just is what it is. Break that marriage up, girl. No, don't break them in. It just is what it is. You got to move on because you don't always marry your soulmate. People don't always marry their soulmate. Soulmate could be your friend, even. But anyway, back to our question. If you were in a bad sexual encounter, have y'all ever been in that type of situation where it just wasn't happening? What did you do? What did you do? Diane said it was just like, okay, let's let this be
Yes,
over. Ugh.
it's
Yeah.
frustrating.
I know for women, we just have to be like, okay, it's just like, okay. Yeah, I agree with you, Diane. It's just like, and this will not happen again. No.
No, you want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. It's just like, okay. That happened.
And you know what? For a woman, that's how we respond. But I wonder for a man, do what do they do? Just handle their business and then that's it?
I would like to know. I would like to
Yeah,
know.
like do they just handle their business? Boom, 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 boom. And I guess maybe that's the same thing. They just go ahead and get it over with.
Maybe they're just like, okay. Well, I can't speak for men, so but I think as women, we just be like, okay, just
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah.
have you ever seen while I'm waiting for other people to come in, just wondering, y'all, everybody scared out there? Go ahead and share. Don't be scared. Don't be
It's
scared. We
okay.
want to know.
This is an adult show with adult people.
Have
Mhm.
you ever seen Waiting to Excel when she was in the bed with what was his name? I think his name was
Yes.
Michael. And oh my God, he was doing all this grunt, and
Say,
she was
call
like
me
in
Big
her
Dick.
head, like, "Huh? What?"
Yeah. She said, he said, call me Big Papa.
That's what it reminds me of. I think both of that's how women are. We just be like, "Wait, are you serious?" Like, that question put me in about a way to excel.
Oh,
That's really
God.
where
Oh,
Robin.
that is so funny. Well, it can be really frustrating too, because if you're just so excited and this most of the time these things happen, it's the first time, and you just like, yeah, oh my goodness, yes, it is gonna be wonderful. You know, built up all this anticipation, and then it's like,
But would you give a person a second chance? Would you give them a
if,
second chance to
you know
try?
what? Because sometimes some things happen, and the man, you know, I have been in a situation, and they be like, I am really sorry.
And they might just be nervous. I think
Yeah,
we always think that we're the only ones that have nerves or something, and women are all the ones that. But I would give it another go. I would give it another chance, and just to give you the opportunity to redeem yourself if the case,
oh,
But after that,
it
baby,
all depends on the person too. It all depends.
yes, and that because Robin really wasn't liking him anyway. She didn't really like him, and she just was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna go ahead
Because he
and
paying some bills. I think he was doing something that she wanted.
he
But
had a little more money, I think, or
yeah, he
something.
did. Yeah.
It looks
Mm-mm-mm.
like everybody's scared. Everybody's scared
Okay, Michaela said no second
you
chances.
said no second chance. I'd give you a second chance. Only two though. After the
I
second,
don't know.
I would, but it would depend on who the person is. I agree with you, Diane.
Yeah, I
It
gotta
depends
see
on the person.
if you worth the second chance.
And
Mm.
then, like, to what level was it? Was it
Yeah,
bad?
right. Was it bad where things wasn't to the, all the way to the potential? They couldn't get excited. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You you better do some other things. You better work it out. You better just not let's just listen.
Yeah.
We can make it, but you should be able to make it better. We can make it better together. And
Yeah.
if you're not doing all those other things, we're not doing all those other things together, then you're probably not gonna get another chance, bro. You know.
Hey, you better bring your A game the first time, Diane said. You got to bring it
You don't, it
first.
don't have to be all the way A, but you better be coming right, because if you, yeah, especially at this age group, you better be experienced. Yeah, I mean,
But
young.
Diane, things start to go downhill though. So, things start to go downhill. They don't
I'm going
they don't
to.
rise to the occasion like they used to. So,
Well, who's to say that, they have to be like in my age group? Okay, might be a little bit younger.
okay, Miss Cougar. Okay, cool, Miss.
That's the part that I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna be a cougar.
It depends on the person for a second chance, but if it is short, goodbye, no second chance.
Okay,
Right?
talked about
Okay.
this last week.
That's right.
Talking about the shortness, and you get the right short person, they know what to do with their shortness. And she said, "You get the." She said, "It's a no go." Okay.
Well, we're out of time. Our show is like that
What?
hour flew by. I thought we had more
Oh, wow, I did
time, but
too. Oh
our
my
time is
goodness.
over. We got to get out of here, y'all.
Oh,
It
man.
was so great. We're gonna be back here Wednesday. Go ahead and share us, please. We enjoyed you all. Thank you.
Yes.
Come back next week. We have another song about between the sheets. And hey, go ahead and comment on our page. We love y'all. See you.
Bye.